Well, a big happy hello to you. My name is Mr. Duncan, and I'm so pleased to see you here again for another full English lesson. This is full English number 12, which means that I have now made a dozen episodes of full English. A dozen of something is 12. Half a dozen of something is 6. And 2 dozen of something is 24. Do you know how many things make up a gross? 12 dozen things is a gross, which is 144. The word gross can also mean horrible or disgusting. The way he picks his nose is so gross. What's that? Oh, apparently we are now behind schedule, so I'd better get on with today's full English lesson right now. Can you see what I'm doing here? I'm hanging out some washing. This is one of my weekly chores that I have to do. It must be done regularly. To be honest, I do not enjoy doing chores. They are such a chore. We often use the word chore to describe an unpleasant or laborious task. Something we despise or dislike doing can be described as a chore. There are many different types of chore that must be done. Washing the dishes. I hate having to wash the dishes. Mowing the lawn. I hate having to mow the lawn. Putting out the rubbish. I hate having to put out the rubbish. Vacuuming the carpet. I hate having to vacuum the carpet. But for me, the worst chore of all has to be ironing my clothes. I cannot begin to tell you just how much I despise ironing. Especially when there are so many clothes that need ironing. Yes, I'm pretty sure that my least favourite chore has got to be doing the ironing. Do you enjoy doing chores? Which chores do you hate doing the most? We often use the phrase easier said than done when discussing a possible venture or goal. It would appear that it is easier to say something than actually do it. But why is that? I'm sure you have done it in the past. I know I have. We come up with a big plan or idea that we intend to do at some point, but sadly it never comes to fruition. The word fruition means be made real or completed. It would appear that it is much easier to say you'll do something than to actually do it. The effort needed to start doing something is immense. The two things you really need are determination and motivation. You must be determined and motivated. To be determined is the feeling of being resolute and strong-willed. Motivation is the force that pushes you into doing something. To feel motivated is to be encouraged and spurred on. The driving force that gets you to your goal is motivation. Without determination and motivation, it would appear to be true that some things are easier said than done. Can you see what I'm doing here? I'm in the process of unboxing something. To unbox is to take something out of a box or package. Normally something new is boxed or packaged. It comes in a box or package. A large bulky item will often be boxed so as to make it easier to carry and protect the contents. I will now unbox this item. I will remove the contents from the box. We can also say that I'm unpacking or taking the item or items out of the box. Can you work out what this box has in it? This is my new patio table. It is made of metal and painted so it won't get damaged or go rusty from the rain. I need to assemble the table. It has to be put together. I need to construct it before it can be used. Before I can take the table out, I must undo the seal at the top of the box. I need to cut through these pieces of sticky tape, and then I can remove the disassembled table from the box. These are the instructions for building the table. But to be honest with you, I rarely ever look at the instructions. I like to put things together or learn how to work something without looking at the instructions at all. It's more fun that way. The table itself is very heavy and is not easy to remove from the box. After a little pulling and tugging, I managed to get it out. The next thing I need to do is unpack the parts from the packaging. So these are all the bits and pieces I need to make my lovely table. How well will I do constructing it? Find out later. As you know, I love receiving your comments and questions, and today I would like to answer another one of your questions. This question comes from Javier, who lives in Spain, and asks, what are the differences between the words across and through? Both of these words relate to movement. To move across means to move from one side to another. As a preposition, across shows the position of movement. She ran across the street. As an adverb, across can be used as an expression of measurement. In length, the bridge is 100 feet across. The word across can also show position. He lived across the road from me. A crossword answer that reads horizontally is defined as being across. The word through means to move in and out of something. For example, if you go into a forest and come out the other side, then you have gone through the forest. So through describes the action of moving among something. To move forwards among trees means you are moving through the trees. As you move, you pass things. To move through a forest, or through bushes, or through a crowd of people. You can move through something, such as a doorway. To step from one side to another is to move through. To go through or fall through. To look from one side of something out to another is look through. He looked through the window to see if anyone was at home. To make a hole in something means that you go through or you have gone through. To inspect or study something in part or whole is to go through. I need to go through these essays and check them for mistakes. To be through means to finish or end something. The thing in question is finished and over. I'm going to tell my girlfriend that we are through. In a contest, the word through means to be chosen for the next round or heat. Mr. Duncan, you have made it through to the final. So, across relates to direction, while through tends to relate to movement and objects. Thank you for your question, Javier, and if you have a question for me to answer, then please feel free to drop me a line at my email address. Do you believe in fate? Do you see your life as being one controlled by fate? The word fate means the course of a person's life or the events of someone's life that are out of their control. Fate means that what will happen, and there is nothing that can be done to stop it. Imagine your life being like a road. All the things you will encounter and experience are already there, waiting for you to meet them. A predetermined outcome is fate. Some people believe that their life is already mapped out, that their fate is already sealed. Of course, there are those who believe the opposite and feel that life is something we determine for ourselves, that each person has ultimate control of their own destiny. Sometimes an event or situation occurs that might appear fateful. An inevitable event might seem fateful. In English, there is the phrase, fate worse than death, which means something that is really bad, or something bad that is about to happen, or has happened already. Do you believe in fate? Here is something that can come in very handy if you are out in the wilderness. This is a piece of tree. It's a stick. A small piece of branch from a tree can be called a stick. A length of branch that is not very heavy or thick can be called a stick. You can use a stick to support yourself as you walk. A large amount of sticks can be used to make a shelter or a raft to float on water. You can use a stick as a weapon to defend yourself with, and a stick makes a very good back scratcher. Oh yes, a stick is a very useful thing indeed. The word stick can also mean to fix two things together, normally with glue. You stick two things together. As an idiom, stick together means stay with each other. Whatever happens, you and I will always stick together. It's time now to take a look at another buzzword. A buzzword is a phrase or sentence that is used a lot during a certain period or is generally popular. Today's buzzword is corrupt. This is a word that seems to come around again and again. The word corrupt means the action of being dishonest in return for money or personal gain. A person with high authority might be found to be corrupt if he or she is giving preferential treatment to someone in return for money or favours. You scratch my back and I will scratch yours. If you give something to me, then I will do something for you. More often than not, corruption does involve bribery taking place between powerful people. Bribery is the action of exchanging money for personal favours or gain. Corruption is the noun that names the act of being corrupt. We will always describe a person involved in corruption as being corrupt. A corrupt politician. The official has been charged with corruption. That person has accepted money or gifts in return for giving favours to someone. That person is corruptible, easily bored, dissolute, self-indulgent, and morally depraved. Ta-da! My table is complete. Sadly, that is all I have time for today. I will see you all again very soon for Full English number 13. Will it be unlucky for me? Find out next time. This is Mr. Duncan in the birthplace of the English language, that is, of course, England, saying to you, thanks a lot for watching me, teaching you. And of course, until next time, ta-ta for now. By the way, just in case you're wondering, this is not real money. I really hate ironing. Why not check out my YouTube playlists featuring all of my English lessons?